If you'd like to relive the thrill of Khalil Mack's debut performance or Aaron Rodgers' second-half comeback, catch an encore presentation of Bears v. Packers tonight at 8 Eastern right here on NFL Network. Now it's Make It What You Want, presented by Subway. We check in on the NFL.com Experts League and what we'll be doing to make this season what we want it to be. And we're talking about swapping out some starters from week 1 to week 2, Akbar.
Yeah, if I want to get back to where I was last year in the championship, as good as a fantasy expert as I am, then, I definitely need to make some changes. And one of it is going to start at the wide receiver position. I lost to Elliott, 161-30. Now, had I had Nelson Aguilar, 161-130.
Oh, okay.
Yes, excuse me. So, but had I had Nelson Aguilar, things would have been different. Now, I needed some help in some other positions, but I traded one guy away. We won't talk about that right now, but Aguilar, I'm telling you, it doesn't matter if it's Foles, it doesn't matter if it's Wentz, he's going to be that guy, the amount of targets that he's getting. Sammy Watkins did absolutely nothing, so I'd put Sammy Watkins on the bench and play my man Nelson Aguilar, and not to mention, he's Nigerian.
And I don't think he can have the same historically low yards per catch that he did. I think it was like a 3.5 yards per catch.
It's okay. He still had 13 fantasy
That's
points
what I mean,
in
PPR league. I ended up getting a big win over Marcus Took this week, but I am replacing Rex Burkhead in my starting lineup with Austin Ekeler. Understandable. Burkhead, we knew, was going to be the lead back. But he's going up against the Jags, and in his limited touches, we mentioned this yesterday, he had 5 carries. Ekeler averaged 8 yards per carry. He had 5 targets. He caught all 5 of them for nearly 100 yards. The man touched the ball 10 times and nearly gave you 20 points against a Bills team where perhaps it could get away like it did against the Ravens. I think you'll see a lot more Ekeler. And that's why I'll go ahead and swap out what looks to be a feature back for a guy that has a role to really spell Melvin Gordon. That was Make It What You Want, presented by Subway. We always want to hear from the fans as well, and we asked you on Twitter to send us your major fantasy regrets from your Week 1 matchups. Here are some of our favorites in a segment we call Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda. This is our first one. Playing Chris Hogan, says Lil Rosebud. I'll mention Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah, I mean, look, I know we all like Emmanuel Sanders. I mean, that was definitely, I don't know.
Hogan burned us all.
Hogan burned us. I think that's the takeaway there,
Hogan burned us all.
Emmanuel Sanders was fantastic, but I think we were expecting more.
By the way, Hogan against the Jags this week, so
which means he'll have 20.
Don't forget about that.
I'd stay away this week.
All right, next, this comes from Corey. He says, started Dalton over Mahomes.
I blame you for this one. Your team
to the baby diaper.
Put up a stinker. I really thought that Mahomes would have put up an average stat line against a Chargers defense that's got a ton of talent in that backfield, but instead Tyreek Hill just made them look awful. And this week, Mahomes needs to be in your lineup because that game in Pittsburgh could be a high-scoring affair.
Yeah, no doubt. As long as he's got Tyreek Hill there, man, I underrated Patrick Mahomes. Some short passes. All right, this comes from Stacy. Should have not started a defense instead of starting the New Orleans defense. Lost to 9 points.
I'm with you, Stacy.
I am with you as well. In our Experts League, I have the Saints defense in 2 leagues, as a matter of fact. And, I wouldn't worry about this. I think it's one of those just kind of week 1 aberrations. There is a ton of talent on that Saints defense. Yeah, it got away from them. And I've got to believe they'll right the ship. The Browns offense, look, is it as good as the Bucs offense? Maybe not the Bucs offense we saw last year, but when you start kind of listing Mike Evans and Godwin and Barber and there's a lot of weapons there. The Browns don't quite have that same complement, I don't think. So I'm fine starting the Saints defense for a while. All right, this is from Taylor. Thinking Big Ben will do fine against the Browns.
You know what? I don't feel sorry for you at all.
No, I do feel sorry for him because, you know what? He has a lot of talent around him. Yes, he's missing Le'Veon Bell, but Big Ben is still Big Ben. The dude is a future Hall of Famer. And don't give me that last year's stat.
On the road.
All right?
Stinks on the road.
You know how much I hate those stats. Man,
but at this point,
it's kind of undeniable.
You're not right.
Yes, I am.
You're never right. That's right.
Foul on you, all right? You're ejected out of here.
That is our time for today.
Big Ben, buddy.
Wednesday, we've got all the QB projections you need to set your signal. Caller for Week 2. NFL Fantasy Live returns Wednesday at 4 Eastern on NFL.com and 5 p.m. on NFL Network. Power Rankings starts now.
Week 1 in the books, and some unexpected losses for Super Bowl contenders like the Saints and the Chargers, plus the Steelers tie with the Browns. How far did those teams fall in the NFL power rankings? Find out right here